Here we are on the couch with Dr. Leanne Lawrence. Leanne, you're a GP, but with a different interest in what we'd call traditional practices and treatments that GPs are involved in.
That's right, thanks Mark. Yeah, I'm a GP, but I also use hypnosis techniques in practice. So over the last 5 years, just become aware of how useful it is for helping patients.
So how did you get into it? What was the interest? Did you have an experience? Was that too big a thing?
It is such a difficult question.
Your own experience?
I can tell you about it.
Yeah, okay.
So stress, my life wasn't following the blueprint.
Yes.
That creates stress, that's a problem for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I went to a hypnotherapist for that reason, but this is how I knew it worked. I used to be a female snorer.
Yes.
This guy dealt with that. That was his thing, yeah.
Wow.
So he said he could do that. I said, well, okay, can you do 2 for the price of 1? He said he could. Well, that's a test. It's a bit difficult to quantify stress reduction, but you either snore or you don't.
Well, and it's not you don't think it's a conscious thing.
No. Well, I don't snore anymore.
Right, okay.
Well, after one session, I thought, well, that doesn't fit in with what I'd learned. So I was fascinated to find out how it worked and to study it from that point.
I find that people with their own experience, suddenly it turns on a light as well. So that's good for you.
Yes.
So is there science behind these things? I mean, hypnosis is often seen as very left field, but here you are bringing it into mainstream, and the things that you're treating are sleep is a big thing that you're looking at.
Yes. So the observations have been around for lots of years, but now with the internet, information is no longer being lost. And also with advances in biochemistry, we can detect real time the thought changes within clients, creating different changes in the hormones, and also MRI changes real time and changes to the brain after, say, 8 weeks of doing work like this. So there's now a building wave of science to support these ancient techniques. Very exciting.
Yeah. So walk us through the things you're talking about here, and the effect that hypnosis can have on sleep.
So hypnosis is basically bypass of the critical faculty. That's the receptionist in each one of us that tells us what is and what isn't. It can be a bit difficult to explain really quickly, but our brain fills in the gaps, and in a way we create our world. A lot of people are beginning to understand that may be how it is. So bypass of the critical faculty is some of it. Just simple relaxation is the other part. So in relaxation, our hormones change dramatically and within microseconds. So we can change from a hormone profile which may be preparing the body to fight and flight response, and very quickly change those hormones around to a relaxation. All the body's healing systems and caretaker systems are within relaxation. They're turned off in stress. And so by relaxing, you're just activating, letting your own systems activate. So it can seem a bit miraculous, but actually we just accidentally turned off our own healing.
But there is science behind it. I mean, I think that's what you're saying, is that because of the measurable bits now, you can say that this is mainstream, perhaps.
Sure. So as we stress, adrenaline can put the blood pressure up, the clotting up, more clotty, mobilizes blood sugar, so you'll have a higher blood sugar regardless of what you're eating, and turns down the immune system. So in these days where we're pressured for antibiotics, there's pressure on the antibiotic supply, if we could ask people to relax and improve their own immune systems, maybe we wouldn't require so many antibiotics. It's not a big day when you don't get an infection, so it's very difficult to measure, but there is now science showing that relaxation improves the immune system.
So hypnosis, I suppose for a lot of people, people think of it as done in a place with someone putting someone to sleep. What are the techniques that you've got that changes that around? Because obviously you're not there when the patient's going to sleep at night.
So in practice, I can see one person at a time. I just felt that was a bit slow. So hypnosis, guided meditation, guided visualization, they're all different terms for the same thing. We'd be arguing about the colour of orange juice if we were to sort of tear those apart. So just a guided meditation, just using a guide, someone's words, to help you relax while the conscious mind can relax also. So I produced an app so that patients can take that away with them and practice. Each time you practice, those effects get better and better, bigger and bigger, until after 8 weeks it's detectable in the MRI scan.
So I just happen to have something prepared here.
Oh.
So the app is here, and I've downloaded this, and ThoughtWavesPro. So you type that into your app store.
That's right.
Yeah, and
Yes.
and download that, and it's a relatively simple sign-up process. You warned me that I should look in my junk mail for the email back, which activates the account, which I did, which is a very important part.
Yes.
It takes a little while to do.
Isn't it amazing that you find the most wonderful things in junk?
I know. And then I downloaded the Relax to Sleep and the
6 minute power nap.
Yeah.
So those are free, ongoing,
Yes.
and it's 30 minutes of meditation.
Yes.
And you can either lie back and listen to every word, or you can drift off and just let it play in the background. As long as you go somewhere positive,
Yes.
that'll still work.
Yeah.
So it's not necessary to pay attention to all the words.
Well, and it's interesting you say that, because the 6 minute power nap, after we spoke yesterday, I sat down on this couch, turned the lights off, put it on, and I would have gone to sleep had I not almost fallen off the chair. And you're right about the words, because you start to hear the first bit about the relaxing stuff, the being aware of your body, and then, yeah. So,
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's like a reboot.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So if your computer was frazzled, you turn it off
Yes.
and then turn it back on again, and that's what that is
So
for the mind.
Go through again. So going to sleep. I mean, sleep is such an important part of what we do, and I think when we get stressed, when there's stress and pressure or disease in our life, that's the first thing to go often, which probably has a knock-on effect to other things as well.
So stress hormones are designed way back to protect us from wild animals. We mobilise that stress response, and sleep isn't appropriate if you're facing a wild animal, so it's in with that response. Now sleep is the other side of hypnosis. Hypnosis is nothing new. We do it every time we go to sleep, every time we wake up, we're passing through. So to get to sleep, you need to pass through that relaxation. So it just gradually just eases the mind through that process, fills the mind with words that squish out the regular bad stuff.
So it's the noise at the top of, it's the revolving thought patterns that go around that prevent you from getting, I must do this, I must do that.
Those racing thoughts that are stimulating the adrenaline, so the worry thoughts going round and round. So just by releasing those and letting the more relaxing words come in, you change your hormones and drift through that process much more easily, retrain the mind.
Now, I imagine framing this for a patient would be very good, because the last thing an anxious person wants to do is to hear some rubbishy, calming words, when in fact they're ready for the fight or flight. So how do you get that framing right?
Well, that's the difficult part. So these skills are around, but initially it can be distressing for people that they think that could be the answer. But to talk it through and to just explain the actual hormone changes and how it helps them feel differently really helps people. So we did that little exercise yesterday.
Should we do it now?
Yes.
Yeah,
so here's a way that we can demonstrate, so we don't have the test tubes in the lab to show you the hormone changes, but how thoughts can change your chemistry. So, and words, how important words are. So I might highlight this for somebody with a lot of depressed ways of saying things, life's bad for me. So I'll say, just notice your words, or let's just find out how powerful the words are. So I wonder if you can repeat in your mind's eye, silently, my name is Mark, because that's right, isn't it?
Yes, that's
so
correct,
over and over, my name is Mark. And while you're doing that, would you mind sticking your arm out? Because in a moment, I'm going to press down if that's okay. I'd like you to resist me. Just get a feel for how strong you are. This
Very
is
strong. Yeah,
you are.
strong.
This is muscle testing. It's well used. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Oh, you are strong.
Yeah,
and
that's
relax
right, yeah.
all the way down. So this is widely used in the alternative practitioner world, and now it's coming into mainstream medicine. So all we're going to do is change one word. I wonder if you could think, I am Lisa, over and over, and let's repeat and look for any changes. You ready? I am Lisa. You ready? I am Lisa. And did you notice any difference?
Yeah, I did, and I've done it a number of times since, and done it with some colleagues as well. And very interesting the way it happens, because it's different. I don't know why. I can't explain it.
It's just a way of highlighting to people how quickly these changes happen, although they're under the radar. So we wouldn't notice them. So straight away we're helping your blood pressure and your healing and your immune system. And each time you relax, it will be better and better. And then 8 weeks' time we can see it on the MRI. If we were to scan you, of course. If not, then that's under the radar too. But you will feel awesome.
So getting people to practice this, so it's putting things back into patients, rather than taking a pill and forgetting about it, giving them some tools to work with when they're at home, getting to sleep, getting that immediate feedback, practicing listening to the relax to sleep, to use that, just playing that the whole time. It's a very positive thing. So hopefully, when they're less stressed, that they can start dealing with some of the other things in their lives as well.
Yes, and you don't need to be unwell to benefit from this. So wherever you are, it will improve things for you. So it's not just for people who are unwell, it's for people to remain in good health as well.
Just a story. I had a similar. Was speaking to someone similar that was talking about improving your sleep, similar techniques, and a person that I went to lecture with had a Fitbit, and they'd been recording their sleep unbeknownst to them for a long time. They went had this lecture and then measured the effect that it had on their sleep, and on average they were getting an hour's more sleep per night after doing this one simple thing, and it maintained for 6 months afterwards, which was fantastic, despite having a lot of stress in their lives. So by having that feedback now, that's a really cool thing. So can we talk about children and sleep now, because that's children. I mean, we just assume that once a kid goes stops being a baby, they sleep well, but that isn't always the case.
Well, babies, when they arrive, we think they're zero on the stress hormone levels, but actually they've been in mum's chemistry for the last 9 months. So whatever mum's stress hormones are, they've been going through baby 2, through the placenta. That's baby's normal. And we'll cling on to our normal because that's normal. And so that's the start point. So a lot of people think that's a child, they're not stressed, but they watch telly too. And they've got this not a zero start point, and then life begins. So sometimes it can be a bit difficult, and these skills, the earlier they're introduced into life, the better for health. Educationally, the children are open to learning, so there are many great reasons. Health, less infections. Again, you wouldn't notice it, they're just not there. But it's nice to get that feedback about the person with the sleep, because all the evidence is there. It's just very difficult to collect that evidence.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've written some books for parents to read to children. These are on the apps as audio,
Right,
or
yes.
they're a book format, or each book has got a CD with the audio in the back.
Right.
And to help the child relax to sleep and produce some nice memories. So The stories are about self-esteem, parents actually telling the child they are loved, that just sometimes get missed out of a busy day. So and improving the hormone profile for children. So this one's a skill for pain relief.
Yeah, and you've got another one here. Oh, so they got the sleep deep as well.
Yeah, so just relaxing to sleep. It's basically a meditation that either the parents can read or play the CD, and it's available on the app.
Leanne, I've been very impressed with this, and having some practical use of the app yesterday and last night was really good.
Thank you for doing that.
And the app name again?
ThoughtWavesPro as one word.
Right. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Mark.